He stumbled, and the world laughed. But giving up was never an option.
Everyone said he couldn't do it. That dog would never win. But they didn't know their heart.
I see potential.
Some see failure, others see potential. This man saw something no one else did. Fear held him back, until he realized courage comes one step at a time. Against all odds, he crossed the line and changed everything. In a small town where dust floated like golden smoke at sunset, a 14-year-old boy named Ayan ran every evening on a broken dirt track behind his house. Other kids played video games. Ayan raced the wind. But he was never alone. Beside him stumbled, panted, and tried his absolute heart out a lanky German shepherd with oversized paws and a clumsy stride. His name was Storm, a name that didn't match him at all. Storm tripped over stones. Storm lost balance on turns. Storm got tired fast. Again, Ayan would whisper, tying his worn shoelaces tighter, champions don't quit. People laughed when they saw them. That dog, world racing champion? He runs like he's apologizing to the ground. Ayan heard every word. Storm did too. His ears would lower, but he'd still line up at the imaginary start line, tail shaking, eyes locked on Ayan like nothing else in the world mattered. Because to Storm, winning wasn't the dream. Ayan was. Every night after training, Ayan would hold Storm's face and say, "One day the world will chant your name." Storm didn't understand the words, but he understood the belief. And belief can be more powerful than talent. But that belief was about to be tested in a way neither of them saw coming, because the very next race would change everything.
The local junior dog race wasn't big. No cameras, no crowd roaring, just a few trainers, some parents, and a row of strong, sleek racing dogs that looked like they were built from pure lightning. And then there was Storm. He stood at the start line, legs trembling, not from fear, but from trying too hard to be brave. Ayan knelt, pressing his forehead gently against Storm's. "Just run with me," he whispered, "like always." The whistle blew. The other dogs exploded forward like arrows. Dirt flew. The crowd gasped. Storm ran. For 3 seconds, hope lived. Then his stride broke. His back legs slipped. His rhythm collapsed. One by one, the other dogs blurred past until Storm was alone, far behind, still running, but slower, struggling. "Come on, Storm!" Ayan shouted, running along the fence. Storm pushed harder. Too hard. A sharp yelp cut through the air. Storm stumbled, rolled, and didn't get back up. The world went silent. Ayan was on the track before anyone could stop him. He dropped beside Storm, whose legs shook, eyes wide, not with pain, but fear of disappointing his boy. "I'm here," Ayan said, voice breaking. "You didn't lose." But the vet's words minutes later hit harder than the fall. Ligament damage. He may never race the same again. And for the first time, Ayan didn't know what to say to Storm, because the dream they shared had just been shattered. Or had it? The house felt different that night. Too quiet, too heavy. Storm lay on a blanket near Ayan's bed, his injured leg wrapped, his breathing slow but restless. Every small movement made him wince, but he never cried. He just watched Ayan. And Ayan couldn't look back. The medal posters on his wall, pictures of famous racing dogs, champions mid-stride, suddenly felt like lies. He pulled one down, then another. "What was I thinking?" he muttered. "I pushed you too hard." Storm tried to stand, wobbling, dragging his sore leg, and limped toward him anyway. He rested his head on Ayan's knee. Not blaming,
not afraid, just there. Ayan broke. He hugged Storm tightly, tears soaking into his fur. "I'm sorry. I wanted the world to see how special you are. I didn't care if it hurt." Storm's tail thumped once, soft, forgiving. That's when Ayan understood something. Maybe Storm wasn't born to be the fastest. Maybe he was born to never give up on the one who believed in him. Ayan wiped his tears and looked into Storm's eyes, not as a coach, not as a dreamer, but as a partner. "Okay," he whispered, "we do this your way now. Slow, strong, together." But outside the window, unseen, someone had recorded Storm's fall at the race, and by morning, the whole internet would be laughing at them.
By sunrise, Ayan's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. A video clip had spread everywhere. Storm's fall, the yelp, the slow-motion replay of him tumbling in the dirt. Someone had added sad music. Someone else added laughing emojis. "World champion? This dog can't even run straight." "Animal abuse. Kid is forcing him." "Poor dog deserves better." Each comment hit harder than the last. Ayan sat on the edge of his bed, screen glowing in his shaking hands. Storm limped over and nudged his arm, tail moving gently like he was trying to fix something he didn't understand. "I messed up," Ayan whispered. "They're right." For the first time, doubt didn't come from strangers. It came from inside. He grabbed Storm's leash, walked outside, and stood by the empty dirt track. No cones, no timer, no commands. He unclipped the leash. "You don't have to run anymore," he said softly. "You're free from all this." Storm didn't move. He looked at the track, then at Ayan. Then, slowly, awkwardly, he stepped toward the starting line on his own. One step, limp. One step, limp. But his eyes weren't scared. They were determined. Ayan felt his chest tighten. Maybe the dream didn't belong to just him anymore. But someone else was watching from a parked car near the field. Someone who didn't see failure. They saw potential.
The engine of the old gray car clicked as it cooled in the morning sun. Inside sat a man in his late 40s, arms folded, eyes sharp, the kind of eyes that had studied athletes for years. Coach Rafael Mendoza, former international canine performance trainer, a name serious competitors knew. He had seen the viral video. He didn't laugh. He saw something else. From his car window, he watched Storm take those uneven, stubborn steps toward the starting line. Not fast, not graceful, but unshakable. And he watched Ayan frozen, realizing his dog had chosen to try again. Rafael stepped out. "You going to stop him?" the man asked calmly. Ayan turned, confused. "Who are you?" "Someone who knows the difference between a fast dog and a rare one." Ayan frowned. "He's not built for racing. Everyone says that." Rafael nodded. "True, he'll never win with speed alone." Ayan's heart dropped. "But," Rafael continued, "champions aren't only made from legs. They're made from heart, lung control, pain tolerance, focus under pressure. That dog didn't run for a trophy. He ran for you. That's dangerous." "Dangerous?" "For your competition." Ayan's breath caught. Rafael handed him a card. "I train underdogs, but training with me isn't about dreams. It's about breaking and rebuilding." Ayan looked at Storm, then at the card. This wasn't just training anymore. This was the road that either makes legends or ends them forever. Coach Rafael didn't start with running. That confused Ayan. "No tracks, no races, no timers," Rafael said on day one. Instead, Storm stood in shallow water at a rehabilitation pool,
legs trembling as he balanced against the resistance. Slow steps, controlled breathing, muscle rebuilding from the inside out. "Speed hides weakness," Raphael said. "We remove weakness." Days turned into weeks. Hill walks at sunrise, sand resistance drills, balance boards, controlled sprints no longer than 5 seconds. Storm fell, got up, fell again. Never once did he look for an exit. Ion trained too, running beside Storm with weighted vests, learning hand signals instead of shouting, controlling his own breathing so Storm could match his rhythm. "They race as one," Raphael muttered, "or they don't race at all." But one evening, during a short burst drill, Storm suddenly froze mid-stride. Not tired, not hurt, frozen. His body shook, his eyes were distant, like he wasn't on the field anymore. "Storm?" Ion knelt. "Hey, hey!" Raphael's face changed, serious, concerned. "That's not physical," he said quietly. "What do you mean?" Raphael exhaled. "The fall? It didn't just injure his leg." Ion's stomach dropped. "Your dog," Raphael said softly, "might be carrying fear inside now. And fear is the one opponent heart alone can't outrun."
Storm wasn't the same after that day. Physically, he was stronger than ever, his stride smoother, his muscles defined. His recovery time shocked even Coach Raphael. But at random moments, the sound of a whistle, a sudden shout, the sharp clap of hands, Storm would freeze. His body would lock, his breathing would spike, his eyes would search for escape that wasn't there. "He's reliving the fall," Raphael said gently. "His body remembers pain before his mind understands safety." Ion felt helpless. He could train muscles, he could run miles, but how do you fight something invisible? So Raphael changed the training again. No pressure, no competition. They played. Yes, played. Obstacle courses turned into games. Short chases ended with hugs instead of commands. Whistles were followed by treats. Loud sounds meant safety, not stress. At night, Ion slept beside Storm on the floor, hand resting on his chest, so Storm could feel his steady breathing. "You don't have to be a champion," Ion whispered one night. "You're already enough." Storm licked his hand and rested his head over Ion's heart. Days passed. Then one morning during a drill, Raphael blew the whistle. Storm flinched, paused, then ran. Not forced, not scared. Free. Raphael smiled slightly. He's ready. But Ion didn't know something Raphael had just done. He had submitted Storm's name to the World Canine Endurance Championship.
The stadium was massive, lights blazing, crowds roaring. Flags from different countries waved above the track. Ion's hands shook as he clipped Storm's racing band on. "Listen to me," he whispered, kneeling. "We don't have to win. We just finish together." Storm's eyes were calm now. No fear, just focus. At the start line stood elite racing dogs, lean, explosive, born for speed. Storm looked different. Strong, yes, but built like endurance, like survival. The horn blasted. The dogs launched. Storm didn't. He started steady, controlled, smooth, matching Ion's pace signal from the sideline. 1 lap, 2 laps. The fastest dogs pulled ahead fast. And then, slowly, they began to fade. This wasn't a sprint. It was an endurance championship. Heat, distance, stamina, mental resilience. By mid-race, 2 favorites dropped out. Another slowed drastically. Storm kept going. Not fast, relentless. The crowd's noise shifted from cheers to confusion to disbelief. Last lap. One dog remained ahead, powerful, trained for distance. Storm's breathing was heavy, muscles shaking. Then he looked to the sideline. Ion wasn't shouting. He was running along the fence, smiling. "Just us," he said. Storm surged, not from speed, from heart. He crossed the line first. The stadium exploded. But as Ion ran onto the track, Storm didn't jump or bark. He simply walked to Ion and leaned against him. Because the real twist? Storm didn't win to become a champion. He won to end Ion's need to prove anything ever again.
The medal ceremony felt like a dream Ion was afraid to blink through. Flashbulbs popped. Commentators shouted Storm's name. A gold medal hung around his neck, oversized, shining, heavy. But Storm didn't look at the crowd. He leaned into Ion's legs, eyes half closed, breathing slow and deep like the race had taken everything and given everything back. Coach Raphael stood nearby, arms crossed, a quiet pride in his eyes. "You see it now?" he said. Ion nodded, voice thick. He was never chasing the title. Raphael smiled faintly. No, he was chasing you, making sure you never stopped believing, even if he had to carry the weight. That night, back at the hotel, Storm didn't eat much. He just lay beside Ion's bed, peaceful, tired in a way that felt different, fulfilled. Ion lay on the floor next to him, fingers in his fur. "We did it," he whispered. "But tomorrow, no more pressure, just runs, just us." Storm's tail tapped once, soft, certain. Morning sunlight filled the room. Storm didn't get up, not because of pain, not because of injury, but because his job, the one only he understood, was finally done. Ion held him, tears falling, not of regret, but gratitude, because some champions win medals, and some win hearts forever.